So my last video was about credit, and I wanted to make a part two because I didn't have enough time to explain everything. So, like I said in that last video, is a lot of people think credit cards are bad, especially the older generation, and it's bad if you don't know how to use it right, right? It's the same thing like if you buy a car and you don't know how to drive it, you're gonna have a bad experience, and you're not gonna, I guess, like cars or want to buy cars, and you think they're gonna be bad, stuff like that, and mostly it's on the interest rate. So a credit card could really hurt you, or it could really help you. It just depends on how you use it. And most people don't know how to use it because information isn't out there, readily information out there, or it's not, or nobody tells you about it, right? Nobody really told me about it. I kind of just go through my own experience, but still, I think it's better to, I guess, read up on it and research your own self and kind of find certain stuff like that. So you'll remember most credit cards, especially entry level, always have 30% interest, which is a crazy amount. That's probably the biggest interest rate you'll ever see in your life, depending on your credit and stuff like that. But so credit card itself, so they have a bunch of different perks you could take advantage of. They have a bunch of different programs. They have cash back, which is very good, and I encourage everybody to get cash back. They have points too, or sky miles, depending on if you travel a lot. I wouldn't necessarily go for that. I don't really travel that much, and I would like to in the future, but I don't really care to have, like I said, kind of stick myself and be so focused on only travel only. That would kind of suck to spend on. Um, they have other ones where you have points where you could spend on like hotels and everything else as well. Same thing as a cash back, but cash back as a percentage of the points is a certain different system that you have to kind of, I guess, compare and see which one is better, depending on what offer you get. But I just stick with cash back because it's a percentage of what I buy. Um, and I've done my own research and everything like that. This is better for me. So cash back, usually the best one I've ever seen was around 3 to 5% for no annual fee. There's cards with annual fees. You want to stay away from those because if you're not really buying stuff, which I don't buy stuff all the time, obviously I have bills or certain things I have to buy, then yes, but I don't need an annual fee, which is another subscription because I don't like subscriptions, and I don't think you should get it either. They give you a little bump in certain things like miles, points, or even the cashback. I think like up to 6% depending on certain cards, but it's just not worth it unless you spend like so much on it and frequently. But mine's good. Like I think my biggest one is around 3 to 5% on almost anything. Gas, ordering online, which I do a lot. I don't really go to stores that much, and retail stores as well. So and food, stuff like that too, which is mainly all the purchases I have. So that's good to take advantage of. So always look for cash back. Don't go for 1%. That's kind of like the lowest. 2% is the norm. Like I said, 3% is pretty high and it's really good. Um, and a lot of I'm not sure if I said it in the other videos. So those transaction types, there's only four: Visa, Mastercard, Discover, and Amex, American Express. A lot of places don't take American Express because they're smaller mom and pop shops or just a smaller company in general, or they just don't want to deal with the American Express. So American Express transaction percentage to the store buyer, to the store owner, is I think it's around 11%. It might have changed because that was back then, which means for them to do business with American Express and with you at the same time, because that company is the middleman, they would have to pay the store owner would have to pay them 11% for them to just keep them on, and that's where some of the cashback percentage comes from the store owner paying them and then they pay you like that. Um, Other ones too, like Discover one time, I think it was like a Del Taco that they had turned on the American Express and then they had turned on Discover. That's why I have all four, so I would never not be able to purchase something. So just keep that in mind. Um, so there's security reasons as well. So and I'll go over that because it's a little bit long. There's another thing I was gonna tell you. Okay, so that 30%, you don't have to worry about what it could be 100% interest if if I actually cared about it. but I don't care about it. The interest rate doesn't matter per card unless you don't have good habits, right? I have good habits and I'm very disciplined on keeping them. So, and I'll give you an example. So if you buy a $100 TV, it's gonna show you that $100 balance, and it's gonna show you your minimum monthly payment. Let's just say $30, and then it's gonna show you a date of like 1 month from the time you purchased it when you need to pay it off. And if you don't pay it off, it rolls over into the next month. This is a business, right? The company, it wants to stay in business, so it needs money to stay in business. So what it's gonna do, it's gonna want you to pay that minimum only. So that $30. So let's just say, so the $100 TV month comes by, you pay the minimum, which is only $30 out of that 100. So it's $70 that gets carried over, and that interest rate, let's just say 30%. What would that be? That would be around like 21 bucks, I think. Yeah, 21 bucks, I think. So 30% of 70, which would be 21 bucks. So add that. So your new month payment, and this never goes away. You'll never be able to pay it off if you only pay the minimum, because you're supposed to pay it off in that 1 month, and that's a good thing. You get a whole month to, if you don't have the money now, to kind of get the money to pay it off. You know, if you can't purchase a TV on like straight cash, it gives you a whole month. This credit card gives you a whole month to kind of pay it back. You know, so you're not using your own money either. So that's 70. That $21 interest would kind of bring into your new month, so that would be equal to $91 out of that 100. So you spent $30 for that minimum payment, but it really only did $9 for that principal, which is that $100, which kind of sucks. So your $30 only paid $9 for that principal, and a lot of places are like that. Depending on certain loans, like your mortgage, your car loan, all of them, they're like that. They have different. People don't know that it's not 50-50 payments for principal and interest. It's always your principal is very low, especially in the start, and your interest is very high per payment when you're starting out on certain loans. And you can look at certain graphs and kind of ask questions and talk about this when you're purchasing a home, a car, all these other loans as well. You'll see like your interest is very high when you're starting paying. And I'm not talking about interest rate. I'm talking about your one payment, the breakdown of what principal and interest you're paying from that one payment. So let's say if you give $300, how much is that $300 going to go toward my principal that's going to eat out that $40,000 car or whatever, you know? And most of it's only interest, which is crazy. Just remember, do your research and everything. So with security reasons from that credit card, you're not using your own money. You're using a middleman company to pay the store owner first. So if a product comes damaged when you buy from the store owner, if a product comes damaged and you want to return it, they're not giving you your money refund, giving you your money back, or they try to scam you, whatever, you could always dispute it because it's not your money. And this company, since it's not your money, it's their money, they're going to go, since they're the middleman, they're going to go and they're going to fight for you to get your money back, to give you a refund, because they want to keep you as a customer. So you have that dispute in there. And this also works for scams and frauds as well. Like, if someone steals your credit card and starts racking it up, you give them a call, they freeze it and everything right there and there, and they'll try to get back your money from those stores, all those different stores that they had spent, trying to get your money back to you and give you a refund, or just not have to pay them at all to keep you as a customer. And that's really good for you, right? If you use a debit card to purchase all your stuff, you're not getting cash back, you're not getting that security, and you're not getting the that one extra month to figure out what income you need to gather to pay off all that stuff, right? So remember, always just pay from 1 month. The soonest item you purchased, always pay it in full from that 1 month. Any item, because throughout the month you make different purchases, right? So always pay them off all the time. With a debit card is different. It's more cash. So if you pay something, they try to scam or fraud you. You have to go fight for your own money. And since it's cash, they could block you, run away, and you'll never find it. So just be careful and wary about that stuff.